who he felt were his own parents. He knew the village where they lived and eventually convinced his grandmother to take him there, according to the research. His grandmother reported that after they got off the bus, Shania led her to a house where the older couple lived. Shania appeared to recognize the couple who were the parents of Buakai Launak, a teacher who had been shot and killed on the way to school 5 years before Shania was born. The fascinating thing is that Kai and Shania had something in common. Kai, who was shot from behind, had a small round wound on the back of his head, typical of an entry wound, and a larger exit wound on his forehead. Shania was born with 2 birthmarks, a small round birthmark on the back of his head and a larger irregular-shaped one towards the front. Here's the case of PM. PM was a boy whose half-brother had died from neuroblastoma 12 years before his birth. The half-brother was diagnosed after he'd been limping and then suffered a pathological fracture on his left tibia. He underwent a biopsy of a nodule on his scalp just above his right ear and received chemotherapy through a central line in his right external jugular vein. At the time of his death, he was just 2 years old and blind in his left eye. PM was born with 3 birthmarks that matched the lesions of his half-brother, as well as with a swelling 1 centimeter diameter above his right ear and a dark slanting mark on his lower right anterior surface of his neck. He also had what's known as a corneoleucoma, which caused him to be virtually blind in his left eye, and as soon as PM started to walk, he did so with a limp, sparing his left side, and at around the age of 4.5 years, he spoke to his mother about wanting to return to the family's previous home, describing it with great accuracy. He also spoke to his brothers of his brother's scalp surgery, even though he had never been told of it before. There's a lot of information in here, so I apologize it's longer. But these are great stories. These are amazing stories of kids able to, correlate these incredible stories. Sorry, my eyes are burning. Gotta wipe my eyeballs. I bring a fresh cloth every show. There we go. Hopefully that'll do it. Hopefully. Yeah. All right. God, I'm gonna need a minute here. They just went bonky. All right. What's the next one? Kendra Carter. When Kendra Carter began swimming lessons at the age of 4, she immediately developed an emotional attachment to her coach. Shortly after she started her lessons, she began saying that the coach's baby had died and that the coach had been sick and pushed her baby out. Damn it. Sorry about this. Just became... Oh, thank you, Ben. Thank you for becoming a member. Okay, so saying that the coach's baby had died and that the coach had been sick and pushed the baby out. Kendra's mother was always at her lessons, and when she asked Kendra how she knew these things, her reply was, "I'm the baby that was in her tummy." Kendra went on to describe an abortion, and her mother later found out that the coach had indeed had an abortion 9 years before Kendra was even born. Kendra became happy and bubbly when she was with the coach, but quiet otherwise, and her mother let her spend... God, I'm sorry. My eyes are just flooding with tears, not of sadness or joy, but just oily skin. Her mother had let her spend more and more time with the coach until she was staying with her 3 nights a week. Okay, I think that's a little bizarre. I mean, I understand, but still, really? Eventually, the coach had a falling out with Kendra's mother. Who could have seen that coming? And cut off contact with the family. Kendra then went into a depression and didn't speak for 4.5 months. The coach reestablished a more limited contact at that point, and Kendra slowly began talking again and participating in activities. How much more is there? There's James Linenger. Good Lord. Okay, we're almost there. We're getting there. It's a big article. James Linenger. At the time of this case, James was a 4-year-old baby boy from Louisiana. What did I get? Oh, Lori gifted one. Oops, almost got it. Looks like UFO Bigfoot got one. Congratulations, UFO Bigfoot, being a 30-day member of the show. Thank you, Lori, for doing this. That's really, really cool. It says, at the time he was 4 years old, the boy from Louisiana, he believed that he was once World War II pilot who had been shot down over Iwo Jima, an island in the United States fought to capture in 1945. His parents first realized this when James started to have nightmares, waking up screaming airplane crash and plane on fire. He knew details about World War II aircraft that would be impossible for a youngster to know. For example, when his mother referred to an object on the bottom of the model plane as a bomb, she was corrected by James, who informed her that it was a drop tank. In another instance, he and his parents were watching a documentary, and the narrator called a Japanese plane a Zero when James insisted it was Tony, and in both cases, James turned out to be right. James also insisted that in his previous life, he'd flown off a ship named the Natoma, which was, as the Linagers discovered, was a World War II aircraft carrier, USS Natoma Bay. James said that the previous name was also James, and shockingly, the USS Natoma Bay Squadron, there was a pilot named James Houston who had been killed in action over the Pacific Ocean. Dr. Tucker obtained additional documents for several of James Leninger's statements, and they were made before anyone in the family had even heard of James Houston or the USS Natoma Bay. Ask yourself, how could a 2-year-old in Louisiana remember being a World War II pilot shot down over the Pacific? The biggest skeptic of this case was the boy's father, who remarked that he was the original skeptic, but the information James gave us was so striking and unusual. If someone wants to look at the facts and challenge them, they're welcome to examine everything we have. So then the author weighs in on her take on reincarnation. I think it's an incredible possibility. Certainly, there's several cultures around the world that state that we don't just live one life, and I don't know. I mean, does that invalidate other viewpoints? No, because I think maybe the object of life is to become better versions of ourselves. And when you look at some people, man, they got a long way to go before they're done being a better version of themselves, myself included. I mean, I think it's something we all strive for, but sometimes I feel like I'm not any closer than I've ever been. But I think the idea that you get one shot at this, and if you don't get it right, welcome to the burning fire. That just seems incredibly hard to believe. Maybe it takes several lifetimes, and it probably should if we're supposed to be more godlike or divine-minded. I don't think anybody could nail this in one shot. So does it make sense? To me, it does. But believe what you want. I don't think it matters that much. I think these cases are amazing. Again, this is from a website called Collective Evolution. Collective Evolution, and it's right here on the right side. So check them out on Facebook. They've got a lot more to offer over there. Really good article. I like that she really did he did some incredibly detailed writing and showcasing all these different cases. Just a really good conglomerate of stories, maybe. Yeah, I guess that works. So anyway, I like it. I like these. I don't know. What do you guys think? Could they be legitimate? I don't know. And it depends on your own paradigm, honestly. It doesn't really matter whether you believe it's true or not. There seems to be enough in these cases that if they are indeed legitimately documented and researched and they occurred as they're written, that's pretty incredible. Something amazing is going on. Could just be a psychic connection of some kind that defies time, that they're somehow dialing into these other presences and confusing their experiences with their own and creating this symbiotic memory of sorts. I don't know. It's hard to say. But it's pretty incredible, I think, in all cases. That means you're on the right track, Brent. Humility. Brent looks like he shrunk. Did I? I'm getting older. I think that's part of the deal, isn't it? That as we age, we get a little tinier. Might just be the camera angle, though. Do I look taller now? I don't know. Maybe I do. But I think that article is really cool. I love those stories. Certainly I've heard all of them before in other article builds. So, I mean, nothing really revolutionary was in that article, but I think those cases are real strong. I think they're at least a real strong possibility. But again, believe what you want. Believe what you want, folks. You don't have to believe none of it. But Collective Evolution is the site. Check them out. They're on Facebook. And I think it might be worth your while. So now, ladies and gentlemen, Lori Gibbs, here. Totally agree. No gatekeeping either by the mods. Heaven forbid you try to joke with the hosts or guests or other members. Oh, what's going on? Okay, I know I'm chatty, but choose this podcast always. No drama. Good conversation, much appreciated to our host. Aw, that's very nice. Thank you, Lori. That's very sweet. Hello, Caitlin. Good to see you. I appreciate you guys coming in. Sorry, I'm really kind of running on fumes tonight. Again, I'm sleeping so crappy at nights that I just feel like I don't have my feet under me most of the time right now. But actually today was extra trouble because I woke up with my back being out of whack. And it's like, oh, everything you do, you need your back for it. Even sitting, you need your back for that too. So I've been kind of miserable all day long, eating ibuprofen like Pez, hoping to get some kind of relief. But wow, like Harry Potter. How you doing, Justin Goodearth? I just saw you came in. Sorry I missed you when you popped in before, but I see that you've been actively talking away. So welcome, brother. It's good to have you here. Hi, Car Juice. Hello, Dog Digger. Great to have all you guys over on Rumble. Thank you so much. It's a full house over on the Rumble. Well, I mean, it can be as full as it wants. Nanu. And to you too, Grandizer. Good to see you, man. Thanks for coming in. Yes, now you look normal again. Yay. It's all in the camera angles. We look all kinds of different ways, folks. That's okay. All right. I think it's going to be time to jump over. We're after the 8 o'clock hour at almost 8:10. Probably a good time to jump over to a segment that we've been having a good time with for a while here on the show. And tonight's no different. Hopefully we have a good time with it again tonight. So let's take a look at this segment.
What the hell is that?
What the hell is that? Sorry, all in caps. Thank you for the interview with Jeremy Van. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was a nice guy. I really enjoyed talking to Jeremy Vaney. He was a nice guy. He's from Hawaii, so he always emails with mahalo, aloha. It's like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. I like Hawaii. I've been there and could see myself growing into an old, wizened man over there. Not that I could afford it, but, Well, same here, Brent. Praying God heals both of our old spines. Yeah, it's brutal, isn't it? Getting old. Youth is wasted on the young. I'm just saying. It's okay, though. I've pandered my youth away as well, just like everybody else. Then when we get older, we realize, oh, my God, do you remember when you could just jump up and run and go do something? It's so long ago. Wow, same here. Yep, it's my dream to honeymoon trip at some point time soon to Hawaii. Oh, very cool, Lori. I hope you realize your dream. That's awesome. Make it happen. Just do it. I always figured, I've done a lot of different things in my life, and I've always pursued my dreams to some level, whether it was music or the shows now or other iterations of my own ambitions, and I did all of them to some degree. Not that I've gotten famous at any of them, but I've just really enjoyed pursuing them because I think I've always thought, look, I never want to be the old guy in a nursing home someday going, well, I should have done this or I should have done that. Why didn't I try this? I always wanted to do that. I never wanted to be that guy that said what I should have, could have, would have done. I figure, well, I'm going to do the best I can, and therefore I've done them. And if they don't work out, okay, but I took a shot. I pursued what I loved, and I just think that's important because, whether we get one life or many, if we get reincarnated, then I guess we got more shots at it. But if you only got one, do you want to be that guy at the end of the line going, man, I wonder what would have happened if I'd picked up that guitar or learned piano or something? Just do it. do it. And do it badly. Who cares? Just do it. If it's something you love, just do it. I think that's the way to live. Life's too short. I'm king of abusing my body, Wander. Yeah, T-Bone, I think we're all carrying a bunch of lumps and scars. Hell, I'm probably more scar tissue than I am regular connective tissue. But it's okay. I have no regrets. Well, no, I think everybody has regrets. But I know that I put a lot of hard miles on this frame, but I got a lot of great memories from it. So I can't complain. I can, but nobody's going to listen anyway, so I'm not going to. All right, let's get to the What the Hell Is That? This is a newer segment on the show, and this is where we explore evidence, pieces of evidence. I got a couple of them here. I'm going to start with this one. I like this one because it may, obviously, again, I'm going to be presenting you with either photo or video evidence of something, whether it's UFO related, ghost related, cryptid related, or some other phenomena related. Obviously, it wouldn't be out of character to say AI, because everything can be AI, especially things you've never seen before. Like if you've been at this for a long time, like I have, I've seen a lot of the old evidence for years, stuff that predates the AIs and accessibility to things like Photoshop and Photoshop's always been accessible, but not like Premiere and After Effects, video editing programs and AI kits that you can do at home. So not AI, but CGI. So I think there's some great stuff out there. Some of the old stuff I really love. Some of the new stuff, it's hard to tell. So you can always say AI, and you wouldn't obviously be wrong. We don't know, but it would be a fair assessment to say everything I might be showing you could just be said to be AI, and you might be right. But this one is coming from a page called on YouTube. It's a channel. It's Mark Hassara. And I like this guy. I've watched several of his videos, and he doesn't do a lot. He does a lot of varied things. It's not all just this or that. He has a whole hodgepodge of things that he covers on his channel, but I really like his approach. He's just kind of no nonsense. This is what I think. And I think he's a pretty straightforward guy. Again, doesn't mean what he's showing us is real. It could be AI. But I'm going to show you either, again, videos or photos. You do, I hope you will participate in this. In that, I'll show you something, we'll review it, look at it, and then I'm going to ask you in the chat to vote. Let me know what you think. If you think what you're looking at could be real, give it a 1. Just a number 1 in the chat. If you think what you're looking at is a bunch of bunk and probably not real, give it a 0. If you think it's somewhere in the between, throw out a decimal point. Halfway there, 0.5. If you're kind of leaning that it's real, 0.75, but not all the way. Or if you're maybe it could be, but you're not really convinced, 0.25, something like that. So give me some kind of response. I love that we discuss these things and that we weigh in on them. So here's the first one. And again, this is Mark Hassara. And you might recognize his face. He puts his face on all the videos. This is obviously some kind of triangular spacecraft, allegedly. But the question is it real? Let's have a look.
A lot of discussion on social media after this showed up over Central America. People are calling it the Black Dart. Some people believe in UAP, some people don't. You tell me in the comments if you think, is this real or is this AI?
Okay, I'm going to kill the sound now and just let it replay. You can look at it. Looks pretty good. I like how the lights on the back are actually illuminating the clouds as well. A lot of times it seems like the illumination is only the craft itself, but this definitely looks like it's illuminating the clouds around it, which I think is a hell of a thing. Not hard for AI. Nothing really is. So it certainly could be AI rendered and generated. I don't like his use of the term UAP. I think it's UFOs. I don't think throwing a new acronym at it makes it any more unique. And it probably obfuscates the discussion more than it needs to. So I just like UFO. But what do you think? Could this be real? Let me know. Let's see. 2 Crisp, 0.25 from Benno. Looks like a game, says Annie Manuel. Yeah. TR3B. Yeah, I mean, that's oftentimes what people say the TR-3Bs look like is the triangular craft. I will say that, generally speaking, most triangular craft are witnessed with either just 3 points of light underneath or 5, depending on the size. But they're always in the triangular, or the triangular pattern with following the contours of the edge of the craft. I've never heard of one that was illuminated this well throughout the body of the craft. And I don't see the points of light on the triangular areas like you would expect from the descriptions from so many and other evidence. But what do you think? Okay, two heart attacks too. Oh, Wonder Woman. Amanda doesn't think it's anything there. Nothing to see here. What do we got? Where's my mouse? Here we go. Too perfect. Lori Gibbs. 0 from Rachel. 0.25 from Annie Manuel. Benno says, I agree. Pixie Ranger, nope. Looks like a game. Rachel, nope. Let's see. Aussie, 1. Aussie's got a... Yeah, he's willing to go there. And it does look impressive. I mean, it really does. Let's see. 0.5 from Kedstar. Iffy from Jill Decker on Facebook. Wizard Moon's giving it a 0.5. 0.5 looks suspect from Jose. Mary Wins is saying nope. Wonder Woman, nope. Lori Gibbs, nope. Then Josh from Cryptical Crossroads giving it a 0.5. And 0 from Kitty Cattywhack. 0 from John Attitude. And let's see, 1 from Aussie again. And let's see, 3 points light, central red light. Have illustrated quite a few. Yeah, that seems very unusual, atypical, at least for that. What do we got? 0 for Barbara Mora. Car Juice, 0. Justin Goodearth, not looking real for me. With you on the UFO acronym, though. Yeah, amen. I like my UFOs blurry, Barbara says. There is that. Very interesting. I think honestly, this is one of those, God, where did that come from all of a sudden? Not a lot of backstory. It's just somewhere else, some other country, and without any names or anything. So that makes it highly suspect. But that's some of the most pristine, if it is real, that's some of the most pristine UFO footage ever. But I'm guessing it's probably AI too. It's just too good. It's just too good, in my opinion, but doesn't mean it can't be real. It might very well be real, but that's my take on it too. So great thoughts. Everybody's weighing in. Appreciate it, guys. Let's get the next one. Whoops. Let's get the next one queued up, and we'll look at that one. So this one is from The Haunted Side. This one's kind of creepy. This is a little bit longer. A little child in her room. She starts hearing one of her toys go off under the bed. And she's got the little toddler beds, those little toddler beds that are basically beds that are just like a few inches above the floor. And the cute little bed looks like she's got a chock full of stuffed animals and dollies and stuff. And it's looking through a nanny cam at her in her bed. And you'll see what happens here in just a moment. But it's kind of creepy, a lot creepy. But what do you think is going on here? Let's see. Let's take a look. So this is some kind of ghost issue or something. Take a look. Here we go. This is from The Haunted Side. Again, I love this channel. These guys did a lot of investigation videos back in the day and probably still do. But he's been doing a lot of these reaction videos, which is great. He's showcasing a lot of really cool videos. So support what he's doing. Stop over there and get subscribed to Haunted Side on YouTube. Here it is. Let's take a look.
There are monsters under the bed.
Oh,
This guy's daughter was sleeping one night when she started hearing one of her toys from under her bed. So she goes to check it out, and this happens.
Okay, first of all, that's the creepiest damn thing I'd ever expect to hear in the dead of night. Don't leave batteries in those damn things. That's horrible. Probably going to get a copyright strike for that stupid ass song too, but oh well. It's crawling under the bed. Now she's kind of going under the bed for some reason. She feels like that's where she should be. Maybe she's looking for the toy that's under there making noise. Maybe it's her favorite toy. I don't know, but she decides to kind of go under the bed and then watch what happens.
She screams for her mom as something pulls her under her bed. Thankfully, her mom comes to the rescue, but when she lifts the bed, no one else is there aside from her daughter. What on earth could have done this? And is it really possible that there are monsters under the bed? Oh,
there you go. So that's horrifying. Poor kid. My God, gets sucked under her own bed. Now, obviously, not horrified, traumatized too much because she's not screaming and just blowing a gasket, but still, that's not what you like to see happen to your kids. Something's messing with your kids. That's double horrible. So what do we got? What do you guys think? John Attitude is giving this a 1. Rachel's giving it a 1. Could be a ghost. Could be. Yeah, right, Bryce. 0.9 from Benno. Amanda's Crazy Life Channel 1. Aussie Boss Tiger 1. 0.5 from Karen. 100% 1 from T-Bone. 1 for sure from BJ Lapierre. Wizard Moon 1. Pulled 2 perfect, not crawling side to side, either AI or 100% real. Yeah, I mean, she's pulled under there. I don't know. Again, I think this one's been around for a while, but might predate AI. I'm not sure. Grandizer's giving this one a 1. Jackie Hall's giving it a 1. Kitty Caddywhack 1. Josh Casto of Cryptical Crossroads 1. Yes, she's crying for her mom. Yeah, exactly. That's heartbreaking. Pixie Ranger giving it halfway there. I used to slither under the bed, and I got stuck, Annie said. Oof, that's horrifying. Jose Sanchez says 0.75. Annie Manuel's giving it a halfway. War Gibbs 1, plus I am not happy. I mean, it's heartbreaking to hear a child calling out like that. They shouldn't be dealing with things like that if it is legit. Wonder Woman's giving it a 1. Mary Wynn's giving it a half. Bigfoot Fades is giving it a 0. How you doing, Bigfoot Fades? Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you being here. Very talented person, Bigfoot Fades. Been doing a lot of AI and music builds for a lot of us creators out there, so very talented person. Oh yes, what year did this one come out? Is it posted? Not on this. It's not. I don't have any background information on it. Just a real general, this little kid in a bed gets sucked under it or whatever. Daryl Stanley, 0.5, 1 from Kedstar. I'd be afraid it was Chucky. I don't think Chucky's that bad. He does the question of the week. Oh, different Chucky. Okay. I watched way too many Chucky movies as a kid, yeah. Whether it's faked or true, they are messed up. Yeah, it is. Either. Brent Thomas pulls the monster out under his bed, and the monster cries out. Yeah. Now you're making me the Chuck Norris of the pair. From Dog Digger over here. So, or Big D. So that's what we got. Oh, 0.5 from Big D. Gotcha. Okay. But yeah, great. I think it's a good video. Could be legit. Very disturbing. Don't like to see kids getting sucked under furniture as a rule. That's horrible. But anyway, that's the next one. But there's more. But there's always more. And we're going to get to that. I just did that one. Oh, Sunny, Mrs. Sunny 11 has a blog channel on Facebook, and she posted this one that we just did as her thumbnail. I wanted to show you this last one. This one is really cool. This one's longer. I think it was a BBC documentary. In other countries, energy work, spiritual energy work, yin yang. Yin yang is not really body energy per se, but ki, chi. There's lots of different names, prana, etc. Polarity, and etc. etc. Dealing with our own spiritual body energy, meridians, and such. Our channels of energy in our body, and that reflexology and the needles, acupuncture are used in that. There's some ancient schools of thought dealing with the fact that we are a series of circuits in our body, And through those circuits and channeling our energies, we can do amazing things. This is a video I saw years and years ago. And it's a documentary dealing with well, they say John Chang is his name, but I thought in the original he was called Darius or Dari or something like that. But it's a gentleman from Indonesia that this crew, this documentary crew, goes and finds because they're trying to get help for one of the brothers of the two that are doing the documentary has some weird infection in his eye that just won't go away. And so they track down this spiritual healer in Indonesia. And he uses a technique called Qigong. And he decided to showcase some of what he can do on this video. And again, this is a documentary film crew around this guy. You know, they were keeping an eye on him, but take it for what you will. Some people think, oh, this is just, a lot of hooey mysticism and such. I can't argue it, but what if it's real? There's stories coming out of Asia forever of people meditating and levitating, telekinesis, strange energetic and healing abilities that defy science. So is this possible? It's not really, I guess we can vote on it at the end. It's going to be a little longer. I just wanted to preface it a little bit for you because it is a little longer, but this is one that I think is worth showing because if this is real, this shows you this is potentially demonstrating some of the real incredible untapped potential that we have. So let's get to this. It's being posted by Sanam Tai Chi and Martial Arts. This is not their video. This is a video that they have showcased. And I saw this years and years ago, but I really like it. And I think it's pretty incredible. I don't know if this is the whole one, but it might be like 6 minutes long. So buckle up. Here we go.
Yeah. Good Lord. You just relax and enjoy, Lord.
He uses acupuncture needles in the traditional points, but with a twist. Through them, he directs a form of electricity, as he calls it. But he doesn't draw the electricity from a wall socket. He claims to generate it within his own body. It was nothing like any acupuncture I'd ever had. I was getting really powerful electric shocks and couldn't control my movements at all.
Okay.
He says that what he does is no more supernatural than an electric eel, which also knows how to harness its yin and yang energies.
Yin yang, positive and negative, And my positive from here and my negative from here. And we meet together, this can get like electricity.
And is this because you're special? You have a special sort of
It's
body?
meditation every day.
It's meditation.
Meditation every day. Like a yoga. But I study about 18 years.
18 years.
18 years from my child before.
Can you project this energy through your hands only or through other things as well?
Only my hand.
Only your hands.
Like you can touch me, like this. It's nothing, okay? It's my burn. Just like this.
Our sound recordist, Simi, was skeptical at first. Later, he told us that anybody could learn this. God had given us all the yin-yang polarity, but it takes discipline and meditation to awaken and control it.
Harus latih lagi. Kita harus belajar lagi, meditasi lagi.
And you must be very aware of your emotions.
Terlalu emotion kita pukul orang bisa itu very dangerous. Bisa mati.
This energy can be dangerous.
Bisa sabar.
It can kill as well as heal.
Kita biasanya.
Then he asked for our newspaper.
This part is really wild.
Whatever he had done to our newspaper, it's how he'd healed my eyes that made me wonder. What do these people living in the shadows of the volcanoes still know that we of the West have forgotten?
When he heard we'd shown this footage in public, he was very upset and refused all our future efforts to contact him again. As the years passed, we sadly resigned ourselves to never seeing him again. My brother Lorne never did, for by 1997 he was already dead, when I again found myself with DJ, now treating me for an eye problem. But it wasn't this that brought me back. He had tracked me down out of the blue and invited me to tell me a story. He'd just returned from 2 years on a deep meditational journey, alone in the heart of Borneo. Amongst his revelations, he had seen, he said, how history was moving on into great change, and the old wisdom was vanishing. So he'd called me back to film just enough of him to remind us that we all have undreamed of powers sleeping within us, and that there's nothing special about him except for his training in waking them. Grounding this patient, my cameraman Joe is having to use all his weight to keep contact. She is pushing him away. He seems able to control the amplitude of this chi, like a dimmer switch, and it causes uncontrollable responses in the patients and their grounders.
I can barely keep my hand on you. It wants to fly off. The electricity is so strong.
This mother, he won't sit still, so she's asked to hold him and grin and bear it. Sometimes signs of this passing energy can be seen in the transmitter too. This chi stuff is only the surface, he says, of the real adventure beneath, in the meditational technique, which at one time, when he taught it, dozens of his students were trying to master. At private testing sessions, they'd be asked to show their progress by, in this case, trying to push brittle plastic chopsticks through a hard wooden bench. Some of them could make some dents, but only DJ can go right through.
Is it in? Good luck.
So there you go. Pretty crazy, right? Are we capable of so much more? I think so. I think that these kind of knowledges were probably a big part of many of our cultures around the world, and it's fading, and that's what's sad and tragic. But what do you guys think? I saw some of you were voting before. Looks like T-Bone, did you say that's AI? It's definitely not AI. I remember watching this back in the early 2000s when I first stumbled on it, so it's long before AI. I saw this years ago. Amazing Benno says, yep. Kitty Cattywack's all in. Bigfoot fades. I was going to say Fud is after Big Rob says. Annie Manuel's all in on this one. Karen's all in. Benno 1. Let's see, 100% from Kitty Cattywack. Rachel gives it a 1. 1 again from T-Bone. Wizard Moon 1. 1 again from Annie. Let's see, anything else? John Attitude 1. Mary Wins 1. Aussie Boss Tiger 1. D Oceans Deep Woo gives it a 1. Rachel gives it 1. Karen Elberding, Daryl Stanley, Annie Manuel, Bigfoot Fades. A lot of repeat votes. That's okay. Kedstar all 1. Boiled in bed. What? Pixie Ranger's giving us a 2, which I guess that's double yes. I don't know. Wizard Moon 1. I voted again. That's okay. Jackie Hall 1. Ask Yuri Geller. Oh, Yuri Geller. Okay, Brent. We can self-heal our spines. Vote 1.1. Yeah, I'm sure we can. I've personally experienced miracle healing, and I'm all in on it. I think it's a real thing. Grandizer, 1. Yeah, I think so. What do we got? Big D, Car Juice, Barbara Mora, 1. Dog Digger, 1. And Barbara says, I remember having acupuncture and acupressure in other parts of my body moved. I'm in. I believe it. Yeah, meridians are crazy. Cool. Fire starting is super handy. Pretty amazing if real. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I saw that part. I was like, huh? It's like Kamehameha. I mean, geez. No, and they did mention that it can be a dangerous energy too. It can kill. It's like, well, yeah, if you can light a newspaper on fire, I'm sure you can probably mess somebody up in a hurry. Just saying, that's pretty cool stuff. Focused energy at broken car. Focus. You can heal your car. I don't know if it works that way, but maybe. Hubby says yes. Neil's all in on this one too. Yeah. I think it's amazing stuff. And I think these kind of traditions are being lost in our modern world. And that's absolutely heartbreaking to me. Not that I have the dedication and devotion to learn those things myself, but I hope those traditions are continuing on. I hope there's people still learning and still keeping that alive, still devoting themselves to it, because these are the kind of things that if we lose them, we've lost something very special in our world. And we are losing them. So I think it's crazy. But I like that video. I like it a lot, and I wanted to share it with you for those that hadn't seen it. I think it's just one of those amazing things. Like, well, yeah, he was called DJ. I don't know why they're calling him John Chang, the legendary Indonesian Qigong master. Maybe that's the name. DJ is part of John Chang. I don't know. Very cool. Whoops. Didn't want to do that one. But there it is, folks. What do you think? You've already said it. And this has been a presentation of this.
What the hell is that?
What the hell is that? Exactly. That's what we're all wondering. But I love that video. I really do love that video. It's just one of those videos that really speaks to me. It's like, wow. Because I've always believed that we're capable of so much more. We are incredibly dynamic beings. We just forgot. We've been lulled into this state of stupor that we're in through generations and through chemicals and stimuli and so many things that have taken us away from our balance and our center. But I think we're capable of incredible, miraculous things. And certainly lighting newspaper on fire could be one of them. I'm just saying. Could very well be true. There you go. I guess it's time to get to the cryptids with the last of the time we have left. Sivella Khalil says, okay. What does mean, Sivella? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Over in per Florida live cam. Oh yeah, the Tankella was talking about there's UFOs visible over Florida right now. Over England's Pier, California, or England's Pier, Florida, live camera right now. So you guys can pull up another window and look at that, I guess. I don't know. I guess we could look at it. Might as well check it out. See if we can find something. I'll take a look. Let's paste it into Google and see if we can find a live cam. Why did I get the darkness feeds? That's not what I copied at all. That doesn't make much sense. England's Pier, Florida. It gave me the darkness feeds. England's Pier, Florida live cam. All right, let's see. I don't think I'm getting anything that's... Oh, here's Live Beach webcam. That's not it. That's Lauderdale. Lauderdale, England's Pier on Florida. But webcam taxi, I'm not going to click on that. That looks like trouble. I'm not going to click on webcam's taxi. You could be a scammer. I don't know. I'm just saying. Nope, not on the studio computer. But I guess you can look for it out there, folks. Might be out there somewhere. But yeah, open links like that carefully. It came under webcam taxi or whatever. It's like, no, thanks. I don't need to be hacked tonight. No offense, Stankel. I appreciate you letting us know, but yeah, I'm not going to do it live on the show here. I don't know. Unless it came from a reputable source. And I don't know if that is. But we have time to get to some cryptids. We didn't do any in the what the hell is that tonight, so we should do some now. And we're going to start this right here. Right here, folks, because it's time to dive into the next part of our show. And this is this. It's time to explore the darkened spaces of the Cryptid Corner. There it is. Long and there we are. All right, so we're going to start the journey and probably end it. I don't know how long this one is, but we'll hit some Sasquatch Chronicles tonight and probably call it a night. It's not a long one. This one's pretty quick, but it has some pictures. There's more orbs, actually, than cryptids. Did they not have any? Nope. So this is an orby one. Maybe I should skip this one and we'll go right here. Woman picking berries says she saw monster. December 22. This is back in the archives of Sasquatch Chronicles blog. So it's not a recent story, but it's still pretty fantastic. These stories are pretty great because they are very similar to the BFRO reports, and they may be. A rural Pekin, P-E-K-I-N woman reported to Tazewell County Sheriff's officers that she saw a Cohomo Coal Hollow Road monster while she was picking berries by the old coal mine on Route 98, about 3 miles east of Route 2 at 7:35 p.m. Thursday. The unidentified woman did not furnish officers with any description of what she saw, but she said she became so scared she ran off and left her purse. Sheriff's officers investigated the scene but actually found nothing. So it has her purse, too. Oh, man. That's brutal. The Sheriff's Department received a call from Eureka Man who said he and his family were having a birthday party at 8:30 p.m. Wednesday in Fond du Lac Park, East Peoria, when they saw strange lights come in a vertical position and go down behind some trees. He said the lights left a vapor or smoke trail. If Cohomo is actually Momo, it's the Missouri monster. That's Louisiana, Missouri. Yeah, okay, the monster reported in Louisiana, Missouri. He apparently has been scared gray. According to first reports, Momo is the same old black-haired, orange-eyed, stinky guy, but in the next 36 hours, he grew a few feet, acquired an extra toe on each foot, and learned how to swim. Yeah, Momo's footprints were allegedly three-toed, which is very unusual. But I guess, unless they're saying Momo is 4 and this has 5, I don't know. Thursday night, East Peoria police said 2 reliable citizens told them they saw Momo. He was 10 feet tall, had a face with long gray U-shaped ears, a red mouth with sharp teeth, thumbs, and long second joints, and he looked like a cross between an ape and a caveman. Ugh. They said another sign of Momo's neurosis may be his fear of lantern light, acquired affection for roaming through damp caves, and the exchange of his notable sulfur smell for that of musky, wet down dog. More than 200 calls jammed the switchboard at the East Peoria Police Department Wednesday night. Police vowed to administer a lie detector test to everyone filing a monster report. Cairo Police Commissioner James DeLay said anyone saying he saw Momo must submit to a breath test to determine the alcohol intake. Yeah, this is back in the old days where it's like, you saw what? All right, come on in. Take this, breathe in this tube. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Not that I don't believe them. I think if that many people reported seeing something, they probably were seeing something. But, you know, most investigative bodies aren't going to research that very, very carefully. Let's go to the next one from December 22nd. 2 men have a close-up sighting during a road crossing. The witness observed Bigfoot crossing. It's the exact same one I got. Exact same sign right there. Up on the wall above the on-air sign. My best friend and I were returning from a hunting trip for turkey in eastern Washington for my 50th birthday. With no success further east, we went to Teanaway. Again, no success, and as we returned to the freeway in Clayloom, I was saying to my friend, we need to watch for elk and deer as I've seen some bad wrecks on I-90. We spotted one deer when the next thing my friend said is, "What's that?" As I approached the area, I spotted the movement along the highway, and he looked at me and said, "Bigfoot." As we came closer, this creature stepped onto the edge of the highway, looking dead off into my friend's face as we passed, with me braking. I looked into the rearview side mirror, only to see it take 2 steps into the highway. I turned to look back at the road ahead so as not to crash. I returned my gaze to the mirrors only to have it gone from the road. It was not a person or a bear. Absolutely not. I've never feared going into the woods, but will no longer do my 3:30 a.m. hunting trips for turkey by myself ever again, let alone camp alone. Yeah, camping alone, I think, takes all kinds of balls. I have to say that. January 12th, another one, The Legend of Sacred Baby Mountain. This is a story from the 1800s, and this will probably be the last one we'll touch tonight. There are many tales of strange happenings in the forest and woodlands of Oklahoma. Many of the folk have stories about haunted woods, strange beasts out into the woods, and spooky noises. There are legends, folktales, and family histories where screams in the night have been handed down from family members to successive family members. Hamas Tubi was an unusually large man, even for a Choctaw Indian. His father, Hanali Tubi, stood 2 inches over 8 feet in height and weighed 540 pounds. Oh my gosh. Hama and his 6 sons stood about a foot shorter than Palumi or Father Tubi. They were large, exceedingly strong, fierce warriors. Hamas and his sons were the point riders for a troop of Choctaw cavalry known as the Light Horsemen. Many in the Choctaw Nation thought it humorous that such large men riding draft horses referred to them as light horsemen. Tubi's men experienced something which none would ever forget. This day's assignment was to flush out some bandits that had been preying on local farmers. A 30-man troop would be going into an area which later in the state of Oklahoma became known as McCurtain County Wilderness Area. These bandits had not only been taking large quantities of corn, squash, and beans, but had as well been taking very young children. This thievery had been taking place across the border in our... Well, that one's outside. In Arkansas, as well as in the Indian Territory. The captain of the troop of Choctaw Cavalry was a man named Joshua LaFleur. Captain LaFleur was of mixed blood, part French, part Choctaw. The men deeply respected him, and Joshua LaFleur was impeccably honest and was brave to a fault. The men had been traveling on horseback nonstop since 3 o'clock in the morning, and they began their assignments at the tribal capital in Tuscaloma. And when they finally came to the Clover River, they let their horses eat, and the men decided to rest and eat as well. Non-stop riding for 8 hours, having to lead their horses across Little River and the hot July sun were taking a toll on the men and their mounts. When some time had passed, Captain Josh gave the order, and the men remounted and began the last leg of their trip at or around 4:30 in the morning. The troop came to the edge of the area which the bandits were supposed to be inhabiting. Captain Josh signaled with an uplifted hand that the troop should come to a halt. Standing in his stirrups, Captain Josh utilized a ship's eyepiece, telescope, and promptly turned his men and gave the command for a full armed charge. The distance between the suspected bandits and the troopers was about 500 yards. The Tubi men and Captain Josh were at the front of the charge as the 30 men and he neared the thick pine forest where the bandits were. 2 things took place at once. The stench of death assaulted both men and horses, and the horses became uncontrollable. Horses were rearing, pitching, and throwing riders. Captain Josh and the 7 Tubi men were the only ones in the troop whose mounts were disciplined enough that they continued to obey their riders and continued to charge into the midst of the bandits. When the 8 men met with the quote-unquote bandits, they were totally unprepared for what greeted them. The clearing behind the initial tree cover was actually a large earthen mound. Strewn about the mound were numerous corpses of human children in varying stages of decay. Most of the bandits had fled, but 3 really large, hairy, ape-like creatures remained on the mound. Captain Josh drew his saber and with pistol in hand, saber in the other, charged the huge monsters. The nearest monsters killed Captain LaFleur's horse with one blow of its massive hand. The monster never flinched as Captain LaFleur poured bullets from his Patterson's Colt revolver into the beast's chest. After emptying the revolver into the monster, Captain Joshua continued to press the attack with his saber. Many times did the saber meet the brute's flesh, and many times did blood spew from the gaping wounds on the beast's body. So quickly did this engagement take place that the 2B men had barely enough time to take aim at the 3 monsters before one of the beasts flanked the captain and literally tore off Captain LaFleur's head. There was no time for any sort of delay due to shock. The 2B men opened fire upon the 3-man beasts. 7 50 caliber Sharps buffalo rifles impacted 3 simian-appearing brutes at the same time. From years of routine and practice, all bullets smashed into the 3 monsters' heads. 6 rounds were fired into the heads of the 2 monsters, which were the culprits that killed their beloved captain. Only the youngest 2B, Robert, had the presence of mind to put a bullet into the head of the 3rd monster. A legend was born that day. Robert 2B, 18 years of age, all 6 feet 11 inches, 373 pounds of him, chased down a wounded man-beast and finished the beast off with only his hunting rifle. By the time the other 6 2B men caught up with Robert and the monster, Robert had already decapitated the beast. Holding the head aloft in both hands, Robert let out a primal scream, which made even the 2B mounts panic. The light horsemen gathered their mounts and surveyed what was before them. Absolute carnage littered about the clearing. The partially consumed bodies of 19 children lay upon and about the mound. The stench of decaying bodies was bad enough, but the overpowering odor of the man-beast, urine and feces, was more than the strongest stomach could endure. After retching violently, the men of the troop buried the bodies of the children in 19 small graves, buried beloved captain,